let's be honest, when was the last time your web browser really changed the game for you? For decades, it's been our main window to the internet. But has it fundamentally evolved? Well, OpenAI is betting it hasn't, and they think AI gives us a rare, once-in-a-decade shot to reinvent it completely. Today, we're diving into their big answer, a brand new AI-powered browser they're calling ChatGPT Atlas. It all starts with this one simple question. What if you could just talk to your browser? Instead of juggling a million tabs and copy-pasting stuff back and forth, what if you could just tell it what you need and it would, get it? That's the whole idea behind Atlas. So let's back up. Why now? Why does the good old web browser need a total rethink? Well, the argument is pretty simple. The internet has become insanely complex, but the way we actually navigate it hasn't really kept up. It's time for a serious upgrade. And this isn't just about adding a cool new button. We're talking about a fundamental reimagining of the whole thing. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says AI is that rare opportunity to completely rethink what a browser can even be. That's the huge vision driving this whole project. I mean, just think about it for a second. Tabs were revolutionary, right? But since then, what have the big innovations been? It's mostly been small, incremental stuff. We're all still drowning in a sea of tabs, trying to manage information manually. It just doesn't work anymore. And that's the exact problem Atlas is built to solve. So, with the problem laid out, let's meet the proposed solution, ChatGPT Atlas. They're positioning this as the browser for the next era of the web, built from the ground up with AI at its core. In a nutshell, what is it? It's a browser designed to replace all that complexity with simple, straightforward conversation. The key here is that it's not a browser with some AI features bolted on. It's a browser that was built around AI from day one. And that integration is absolutely crucial. They say ChatGPT is the beating heart of Atlas. It's not just a feature you turn on, it's always there right by your side, and it actually understands the context of what you're doing on any given page. Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does this actually change how you browse the web day to day? Let's get into the core features. The idea is for it to feel familiar, but, well, fundamentally better thanks to that AI running in the background. It all really comes down to three main pillars. First, being able to chat anywhere on any web page. Second, something they call browser memory, which helps it learn and personalize things for you. And third, the really futuristic part, agent mode. This slide just nails the difference. The old way is all about friction. You know the drill, copy-pasting text into a separate ChatGPT tab. With Atlas, you just chat with a sidebar that already knows what page you're on. Or instead of digging through your history, you can just ask, hey, find the doc about our design. It's a much more seamless conversational way to do things. All right, now for the biggest leap. If those other features are about improving your browsing, agent mode is about doing your browsing for you. This is where Atlas goes from being a smart tool to being your personal assistant for the web. So what is it? Basically, agent mode gives ChatGPT its own cursor inside your browser. It can literally click, type, and move between websites to carry out these complex, multi-step tasks you tell it to do. And the process is designed to be super simple and transparent. First, you give it a command. Then, you literally watch as a separate cursor moves around, clicking and typing, so you see exactly what it's doing. And finally, you review the results. You're always in the driver's seat. Okay, let's make this real. For work, you could have a messy Google Doc full of notes. You could just ask the agent to read it, pull out all the action items, and then go over to your project management tool, like Linear, and create all the tasks for your team, automatically. Or what about your personal life? Imagine you find a recipe online. You could tell the agent, hey, I need to make this for 8 people, not 4. And it would read the recipe, do the math, and then pop over to Instacart and add all the right ingredients to your shopping cart. Pretty cool, right? Now, I know what you might be thinking. An AI clicking around inside your browser? That sounds a little concerning, right? It definitely brings up questions about privacy and control. Well, OpenAI stresses that these features were designed with safety built right in, to make sure you're always the one in charge. A huge piece of that control is permissions. You decide how much access the agent gets for any task. You can let it operate logged in, so it can access your accounts for those complex jobs, or you can keep it logged out for simpler things that don't need any personal data. And they give you a whole privacy toolkit. You can turn the browser's memory on or off whenever you want. You can go into settings and manage exactly what it remembers. And of course, you can still use incognito mode.
And maybe most importantly, the agent is totally sandboxed. It only ever operates inside your browser tabs, not on your actual computer.
So, when you put all of this together, what's the end game? Well, the long-term vision here is about way more than just a smarter browser. It's about fundamentally changing how we deal with all of our digital chores.
And this brings us to this new phrase they've coined, which I kind of love, vibe lifing. You might have heard of vibe coding, where you just describe an idea and the AI writes the code. Well, this is the real life version of that. The goal is to get to a point where you can just state an intention, like plan me a weekend trip, and the agent handles all the tedious digital stuff to make it a reality.
So if you're ready to give this a shot, here are the details. Atlas is available right now, worldwide, but just for macOS to start. So we end up back at that big question. If your browser really was a personal agent, what's the first thing you delegate? Would it be booking complicated travel, finally organizing your thousands of photos? The possibilities are pretty endless. For now, the core browser is free for everyone, but that super powerful agent mode is for Plus and Pro users. So think about it. What's the very first annoying task you'd hand over?